I'll be fluent with it when we get to it.
And we're live.
Oh,
Hi!
hey, hi, hello.
I just see the shocked look on Cassie's face.
She's like, I had a burrito, I wasn't ready.
Oh yeah, we have we got breakfast burritos for dinner.
I saw it. I'm totally not jealous. It's because I mentioned it the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why? Ah, damn it. Now I want one.
Should probably have the book open. That's what I
Probably.
should have, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, hi.
Hi.
Hello. How's
Hi.
everything?
You're in charge of this now, bud.
Yeah. You're in charge of this clown fiesta.
You called.
I forget that's your screen name on some things.
Yep. I hear the summons.
Like, I think the first time we played together online, it's like Clown Fiesta is inviting you to the game. I'm like, who the fuck is Clown Fiesta?
Oh,
Hello.
yeah. That's why I was telling him. I was like, hey, look, you have so many names across so many different platforms. I don't want to tell you what to do with your life, but maybe you should just stick with one and change them across all platforms so it's just easier.
No.
But whatever.
I'm keeping my shit separate. Thank you very much.
God damn it.
There you go.
I'm the hardest to dox person in the world.
So, hey, hi, how's it going? So this is welcome to Vigilant 6 West Coast. This is technically a spin-off continuation of our superhero game that we've been running for, God, what, 2 years-ish?
Probably, yeah.
About a year and a half.
Yeah. V6 Best Coast. I could have made this V6 Everglades, like,
Oh God. Oh my God.
Everybody just makes super powered Florida man.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Foxtrot really hit hard.
Gator Boy, Hurricane.
Yeah. No, like
something.
If I played that, I would
Florida
just play
related.
a gator that was transformed into like a humanoid because of Foxtrot. I would just be Gator Man.
This is Gator Man and his friend Croco Boy, and also Swamp Thing is here
for some reason. I would just straight up be Leatherhead from Ninja Turtles.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But we didn't do that this time around.
God.
Instead, so let's see. So the original V6 took place. I always mess this up, and I get it confused with the Flash. V6 took place in Central City?
Metro City,
which was basically Chicago.
New York. It was like legally distinct New York.
Okay. V6 West Coast is going to be taking place in amazingly non-suable LA, also known as Costa Lucida. Long before Foxtrot even happened, there was some kind of stellar phenomenon that ended up creating the first group of metas. And of course, what do you do when you want to be famous for, something or other? You go to LA. Between sports stars and, patriotic members of the military, it became kind of a hotbed for, superhumans to gather and show off their unique abilities and, in a lot of cases, pick up corporate sponsors. And then one day, Foxtrot happened. A weird super chemical attack is what they billed it as in the news that impacted all of the United States. We kind of pick up a few months after that, where normalcy is kind of starting to return. People eventually kind of went a little bit stir crazy, waiting for the official word to like be okay to go out in public. And well, as we saw in definitely not real life, the loudest and squeakiest wheels won, and everybody was let free from their homes, probably a little bit too early. So, there was also weird side effects with Foxtrot. People who were metas, some of them either gained new and weird powers. Some of them became the equivalent of like X-Men's Morlocks. Some of them lost their powers entirely. And otherwise, normal humans ended up kind of replacing them. We kind of start to settle back into normalcy as people start going back to work and school and, living their normal lives after the weirdness that Foxtrot created in everybody's lives. So now we're more or less caught up on the story. Let's talk about the game itself. So as far as the game we're running this game in, we are running this in Masks, a new generation. It is a powered by the apocalypse game, which basically means that it's very cinematic and does rely on more on like the cooperative imagination time between friends, where we all get to sit around a virtual table and play make believe that we're superheroes for a few hours every other Saturday.
I'm excited about that.
One of the cool things about Masks, and like any other powered by the apocalypse game, is the number one, it's very simple to like kind of get started and get going. Everything runs off of 2d6 plus or minus some modifiers. So it's really kind of easy to get the hang of. It does get a little bit complicated later on because there are actions that both the heroes and the villains and basically anybody in between can take that essentially have the option of shifting your stats depending on what the situation arises. But we'll kind of come up with deal with those as they actually come up.
Is it because of a power level up thing, or is it just when the story becomes more complex that causes that?
Well, so when you advance, there are ways to like change your stats around or redistribute your ability points. But even on a more short-term level, there are ways like in combat, or in any other like situation. The situation can alter your stats.
Okay.
So like there are times where I'll be like, let me pull up a character sheet. Let's scroll through this book for the example character sheet. Here we go. There can be situations where somebody somebody in like a position of authority just rails into you and just talks down to you, belittles you so much that you would temporarily shift your superior down, basically. And we'll kind of deal with kind of what those ability scores are, but it's basically the thing that is a representation of your confidence in yourself and your abilities. So if somebody's really, really belittling you, then yeah, you could have to be forced to shift that down. But on the plus side, you then get to shift something else up as determined by the situation. That's going to mostly be a thing I have to talk to you about, but
Okay.
let's see here. Outside of that, one of my favorite things about Powered by the Apocalypse games, as we kind of saw from the Session 0 of Airbender, are the playbooks. Playbooks basically give you all of the what's what about your character. It kind of gives you an outline of, okay, here's generally what this kind of character does. Here are, examples of these characters in popular fiction, and things of that nature. And in the core rule book, there are 10 playbooks. I think the 4 out of the 5 of you have already at least picked that. So, and we don't have any other overlap, which is kind of rad. But I know there were a couple of yeah. Oh yeah, I didn't tell any of you guys that yet. But then there were a couple of expansion books that came out with this that also had additional playbooks, and I think one of you was playing one out of that still. But we'll get to that in just a moment. As far as the playbooks are concerned, we'll start with kind of the core rule books, and when I get to yours, you can pipe up. Let's do that way. So we have the Beacon, who's basically known as the heart of the team. This is someone who is low powered, low angst. This is a person who wants to be a hero even if they don't actually have any powers. This would be someone like Nightwing or a Hawkeye or, something along those lines. Then you have the Bull. That's more or less self-explanatory. This is going to be someone who's basically built like a brick shithouse and hits like a wrecking ball.
Nanomachines.
That's it. Nanomachines. Yeah. Actually, if we were playing this for regular V6, Steven Strong would have been a great example of the Bull. He was the Bull. He did the horns. There's the Delinquent. This one is directly word for word from Airbender. This is basically a troublemaker, attention seeker, someone who rabble rouses, tricks, deceives, but does so more or less for the good of somebody. We have the Doomed. This is typically the one that's going to be very pale and tragic. They have some kind of curse that gives them their power that will eventually consume them. A great example of this is Raven from Teen Titans. We have the Janus. This is the hero with the dual life. Basically somebody who is a superhero mostly because they have to be, but also they've got bills to pay. So they've got a day job or 3, because this is the gig economy of the 2026. This is just Spider-Man. Like that is Spider-Man. You are Peter Parker Spider-Man if you are the Janus, trying to deliver pizzas so that you can pay rent on time, and ultimately failing most months. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. You have the Legacy. This is the latest in a family of heroes. This is someone who has, this is somebody who, grew up watching their grandfather be a superhero and then watch their dad take up that name. This would basically be someone like Ingenium from My Hero Academia, or to a lesser extent, also Spider-Man.
This is the one I'm going to be playing.
It is fascinating.
It is.
Well, in that case, tell us more about your character then.
Well, the easy part is for reasons I'm not going to explain because they're going to be fun to discover in game. But she did inherit her ability. It is a family lineage, specifically from like her great grandfather, and it just kind of went down the line then. She has a slight mutation that her great grandfather technically had, and then over the generations became more human the more they mixed with regular people, less mutated people. So she technically can pass as human. Um but until Foxtrot happened, she kind of lived in like northern Canada, where it's cold all the time because she needed to keep herself covered up because she has scales, almost like fish scales scattered around different parts of her body. She has gills, very visible gills on the side of her neck. She does have webbed feet and fingers. Otherwise, she looks human. The point is because her powers are going to be based off of aquatic adaptation. So she can breathe underwater, she's faster underwater, to a certain extent, even control water. Uh, and thanks to some of the features that she inherited from her family, even have like superhuman strength, but mostly kind of the aquatic abilities. So I got that far. As far as like what to do with her stats and how to specifically pick the abilities, because like I read what the abilities were, but I was a little confused on like what I can and can't pick and all that stuff. So that's kind of where I got stuck. But I am going with Legacy because of her family lineage, getting her powers from her great grandfather.
Awesome. Okay.
Oh, and then she moved to
I'm sorry.
LA when it became
Oh,
known, like, oh, people of the strange can kind of, it's a normal thing now. So she's like, oh, cool, I don't have to hide anymore. Cool. So now she's like,
yeah.
shorts and tank tops.
Hell yeah, dude. I know one good thing about masks is there is an official character sheet for Roll20 for masks. Okay, cool. And you've picked yours. Oh, I thought that was
I did
gonna.
pick the 2 moves. That was definitely straightforward on what moves to have. So
Mhm.
a lot of them were so good, but I narrowed it down for now to be Words of the Past and Fight the Good Fight.
Cool. And like I said, we'll kind of circle back around to that because we will
Yeah,
go in and fill in like all of
work our way
everybody's
down.
stats and all
Yeah.
that shit. But let's see. I'm actually very excited about that, especially knowing where her lineage came from, which
Yeah,
is
it'll be
fucking
fun.
great. It's really good. It's really, really good.
Especially being in LA, going back to LA of all places, it's like, oh man. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that because I thought we were in like Santa Monica or San Jose, and I was like, oh shit, LA, that's even better.
Oh yeah. Next up we have the Nova, the overpowered conflagration. They can reshape the world, but it's hard to control that much power. And if they fail, others get hurt.
That would be me. I chose the Nova.
Hey, hell yeah!
Nice.
Tell
I
us
almost
about
went
your
Nova.
character.
Cool.
Also went Nova. Whew. We all dodged a bullet.
Ditto. I also
We're all like Nova.
Four Novas. Oh,
I
no.
almost went Nova as well, but Cass is like,
Thank God.
I want to go Nova. I'm like, fine, you can go Nova.
But all four of us are gonna go Nova.
Dodged
funny.
a bullet there.
So
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't have to step in at all. It was hilarious how that just kind of worked out. But sorry, guys, go on.
It's okay. My character's name is Sydney Hall, and she has lived in the LA area her whole life. So she's, born and raised and all that. And I'm trying to think about like what I'm allowed to say about my character, what I want to,
As much
things
as you
to be
want to
discoverable.
I guess.
Okay. Her
That was
powers
very
are
vague.
her powers are magnetism. So think like Magneto or like Heisenberg from Resident Evil type of thing, where it's magnekinesis is what it technically is. And her parents, like there was no like inkling of any type of meta or like powers in her family that she knows of, but a Foxtrot happened, leading her to get stuck to a car. But it's fine.
Oh, she's a
Everything's-
Foxtrot baby?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
With it being 2 months after Foxtrot, and with this like difficult power and everything, I figured that would be a lot of fun to try to figure out like not only to how to control the power, but also like how to properly explain it to people. Besides like, oh yeah, it's Foxtrot, it's like I can control magnets now, but like I'm also incredibly scared. But and fun fact, I jokingly said that she works at like the Shake Shack or something, or she did before
Oh,
Foxtrot.
that's right.
But like
That'd be funny.
she couldn't anymore after, so she's just trying to
She's in
figure
and
out.
out now.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean it's just kind of hard to work at a restaurant when you have no control over your magnet powers.
True.
Stuff and things happen.
Destroy everybody's credit card.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Ma'am,
didn't
you've got a
Oh, that's
fork
true.
on your face.
Yeah.
She just works at Barnes and Noble because just PR.
Yeah.
Those don't
You know what?
exist in LA anymore.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
It's right next to a Target somewhere.
Of course.
Anyway.
valid.
Anyway, yeah,
All
she's
right.
very much a used to it, and it'll be fun.
Hell yeah.
Really.
All right. Next up, we've got the Outsider, the alien with strange powers. That's it. It's just the weird alien.
Damn it.
Um,
Yep. Mr. Martian.
So hey, Tilt, I know you've done
I
something.
did the homework. I've done the homework.
10 pages. 10 pages.
Yeah, I'm not gonna vomit those here. You're fine.
No, it's cool. So what can you tell me about your actual character, if anything?
So it depends on where you want me to go. Do you want me to go build-wise, looks-wise,
Basics. Just go
species
basic.
and story-wise? Where do you want me to start?
How? I'm assuming you don't have a name yet.
I do. I've got the name. I've got most of the stuff ready for you. It just depends on what you
Oh,
want me to throw at you
I
first.
didn't even say my name. Here's a big
Oh
name.
yeah, I think the only one that did was Cass.
Sorry.
Um,
Mine's
oh,
Micah
just,
Bachman.
just a little something.
Again, you're the DM. Where do you want me to start? Because
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
gonna help you out, babe, because I know you.
Yes.
Just give us like a name, a little bit of personality, his abilities, and maybe a little
so
fun
more like
tidbit about
character
his
build
alien
and name and
race.
stuff. Got
Yes,
it.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stuff that wasn't so much in game.
Don't
Sure.
dox
I'm
your
helping out.
superhero.
Yeah. Let's start small,
Yeah, I
simple,
don't-
basic.
Okay. Yeah. Hero name Voidstar. His actual name is Valix Heal Your Soul. He is from a race called the Sunborn, which naturally they have heliokinesis, so that's one of my 2 powers. Because we have to pick 2. The other one is density control,
We're
which
all gonna have
that's
to praise
unique
the
to him.
sun.
Oh God, you're the Martian Manhunter.
Ish. Ish, but not really at all, actually. When we'll talk about the species, we'll get to that part.
Cool.
Yeah, he's male tall. He's got a lanky, like, spacefaring build. So, complete polar opposite to, like, what Max was, if that tells you anything. The only really alien-looking feature about him, well, there's 2 of them, actually. One of them, he's got eyes that are really, really weird in the sense that they're eyes with a black pupil, black sclera. And the irises basically kind of look like the event horizon around a black hole, if that gives you a bit of an idea. It's that mix of lights and colors.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
Yep, he wears a black hero suit with, trims that are basically golden sun touch colors. Cape has the sun solid light tech from his people in it, so it looks basically, the inside of it looks like it's radiating sunlight, the outside of it is black. I'll give you a sketch of it later, Zoro, for the whole look of the character.
I look over at Zoro's just kind of like,
No, it won't be hard to make. It's really
No,
not that
sorry,
hard.
that was me reacting to my dog farting. I was just like,
Oh.
Oh, gotcha.
bad timing.
I did answer the basic backstory questions in a very short way because I don't want to give too much away about the character, but long story short, his species, their entire thing is they evolved living on a planet where the star was very, very harsh. And their physiology basically adjusted to absorbing sunlight and working with sunlight. So that's his main thing as a species. And because it's a very harsh environment to live in, it kind of formed their values and society and everything around being very orderly, taking care of one another. The world's hard enough around there that you should be helping each other out. And eventually, as they developed into a spacefaring race, if you want to call it that, they took up the role of guardians of the stars, keeping stars safe and alight and lit up. And he is basically the 37th of his kind, who is posted on Earth and is charged with watching over the sun. That's basically why he's here, and maintaining order and making sure, the species living here don't evolve to a level where, they can threaten the existence of the sun. That's basically his role here. He's an observer, basically, for now.
Wait,
how he gets dragged.
Superman, where he needs the sun to like recharge.
He doesn't just need. No, it's not only the sun. So his people do definitely prefer the sun, but eating food, they have a little. Basically, instead of a heart, they have like a miniature sun in their chest. You don't see it from the outside unless they.
You have a Mr. Fusion in your chest?
No, it's not an actual sun, but it's like a sun. And basically, it's like a mini furnace. Call it whatever you want. And basically, you can absorb sunlight.
Hot.
Yes, you can exude sunlight, which, like you said, sunfire, blah, 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 all that stuff. And if you consume food, burning that food yields a certain degree of exothermic energy, so he can eat. However, the more watery the food is, the worse it is on his system. He does not drink liquids, obviously. And his species has an unexplained allergy to spice. So careful with very spicy food.
Never mind. It's just jerky and bread.
Right. But anyway, So all that to say, yeah, there's a bit of a. Again, I'll get more into those details as we play, but no, it's not just pure sunlight. It's not, Superman 2.0 here. We're not shooting laser beams out of our eyes. However, being from a society that evolved around light and constructs and whatnot, there's the whole alien tech thing, which kind of brings me into the moves and stuff once we get there. I don't know if you want to do that now or later.
We'll get there later. Yep.
Yep. So yeah, that's basically him. He's basically here, and his society being very orderly, predictable, 9 to 5. Everything's like in its proper place and clockwork predictable. Being on Earth for him is a breath of fresh air because spontaneous behavior, chaos, music, all these things that aren't necessarily necessary and orderly for him is a breath of fresh air from his home planet. So he definitely enjoys being on Earth, if only for the spontaneousness of life and how it functions here.
All right. Hell yeah. All right. So that brings us to the last couple of the core playbooks here. We've got the protege, the extremely well-trained understudy, defined by a strong relationship with one adult figure. This is your Robin. That's it. That's like your Robin who's gone solo. Or I guess Kate Bishop Hawkeye would be a good example of this. And then you have the Transformed, the monstrous appearance and human mind. They used to be a regular person, but they were changed forever. This would be something like your Ben Grimm or your Incredible Hulk, etc., so on.
That's what I'm doing.
Awesome. Do you have more about your character as of yet? Because I know, I don't know how much time you had to like look at everything.
I looked at and I read it. I was looking at all the different playbooks. Some of them have the transmutation ability, but the transformed is more of how I'm kind of envisioning the character. I basically want to play like a young adult Beast Boy.
Got you. Okay.
But it's not just like he doesn't become like a swallow. He'll get talons and get wings.
Gotcha.
Like his body monsterfies into species specific things.
Now is this something like he's always kind of weird looking, or is he like a person that can become weird looking?
He can become weird looking. He wears contacts because the one thing he can't change is he permanently has cat's eyes.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
otherwise, unless he's actively using his power, he kind of fits in pretty well. Like he can pass basically.
Animals around him get kind of hinky. Like he has a musk. So he has a musk. He has Inhuman's ability to smell and see.
Okay.
He has some Inhuman might, but it increases depending on how he monsterfies himself.
Gotcha.
So it's like he has he could be like a honey badger strength, like kind of sort of badass, and then he could be like really pissed off and be like a black bear,
So kind of like Amakiji from My Hero Academia without having to eat the food. You just kind of turn into different animal parts.
Yeah. He he doesn't have a superhero costume. He's kind of like just, a dude. But he wears like tracksuits because they're the easiest things to replace. Because they he does a thing and then and then like shit gets ripped, or
Mhm.
he has to kick off his sneakers somewhere in a bush because he all of a sudden starts getting hinge legs and shit because he's doing something. So
Yeah.
he's more like, he transforms more like aware for different beings as opposed to being the being itself.
Gotcha.
So it's like he's like multiple aware forms.
That's pretty
And
rad.
then depending on what he's gonna be, affects how his body reacts to it. And I already picked my 2 powers. I decided to go with be the monster.
Mhm.
And then
Well,
I also took wish I could be, because there
gotcha.
are reasons behind that one.
Okay, and we'll kind of circle back around to that when we get to those. There we go. We'll circle back around to those when we get to that part in the kind of the setup here. Now, Rojan,
Yes.
you were not one of the 10 core playbooks.
No, I had to be the cool kid and choose the outside of the spectrum.
Of course you did.
How dare you?
Okay, if
I
that
don't
wasn't
actually
the case,
remember-
we would have 2 Novas or 2 outsiders. I mean,
What? No.
No, it's fine.
I mean, come over to the alien side.
I don't actually remember which playbook you chose.
I
and
chose-
which book it was in.
I chose the Reformed, which is in the HCHC playbook.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. There we go.
See, I almost went the
There it
star in that one with a different one. Just bounce back.
All right. So the reformed, I should say. Villainy used to be a way of life for you. Then you just saw just what your selfishness and hate created. The supervillain life is a hard one to quit, but you know this best. Sometimes the villain needs saving too. All right. So tell us about your Bandit Keith.
Okay, see, so you say Bandit Keith, but that image that I sent Zorro and everything, and the artwork that she did is like almost a 1-to-1 of Ralph Jones from King of Fighters.
I had to look it up.
Oh,
I knew it was from a fighting
yeah.
game, but I was
Yeah.
like, "Who is this?" Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
look
No,
up
I see it
references.
now.
Yeah.
I see it now.
So, yep, I am playing the role of a former villain who is now on the path of redemption by trying to do good. Not going to get into too much about why he is around, but it's pretty much quote unquote super community service. But yeah, so his name is Theodore Colt, and he has the power of geokinesis. He is, for all intents and purposes, an earthbender.
Nice.
Gotcha.
He is, and in most cases, you know, when you think of characters in comics and comic books and in like comic animated series, the Earth characters are always just like these very large, very muscular type characters, and Theodore is just that. He is just a brick shit house.
I definitely went Sandman when you said something. I was like, "Oh yeah, they're pretty."
Yeah.
He was a beefy boy.
Yeah, it's like you never see like any Earth characters who are like thin or frail or anything. They're always just bulky. So I
Funny
had
how that works.
Yeah.
well, you know, when the entire world is your weapon, you kind of like take on that embodiment.
You want to know
All right,
why?
Sisyphus.
Because they have to be built like a boulder.
Boulder approves of this statement.
Yes, my
Thank
weakness.
you.
I was about to.
My weakness is Chris Redfield. I'm sorry.
Oh
No.
god.
Must continue the Redfield bloodline.
Oh god. I could add veins and make him even more swole, like he's roided out. If you want to go Chris Redfield
No. I'm saying his
from
weakness
5.
is Chris Redfield because Chris Redfield punches
Oh.
boulders.
Oh
True.
gotcha.
But yeah,
Chris Redfield, blind little girls, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so his whole thing is he was a former bank robber and sort of like muscle for hire type person. Things got kind of dicey on one of the heists, and he acted out in a way that kind of caught the attention as to, hey, maybe this guy can be reformed, and that is why he's going to be thrown into the team. But like most people who are, you know, out on probation or anything like that, he will have some sort of monitoring device on him. So, you know, he doesn't have full free will, but it's better than, you know, sitting in a prison and having to eat prison food the entire time.
Yeah. Well, all right then. All right. So everybody has picked their playbooks. If you Okay, cool. Looks like you guys are making those decisions in your actual character sheets too.
I did not get far. I only did like a couple things, and I'm like, now I'm confused. So I'm glad we're doing
No, that's fine.
this.
There we go. Okay. So going back to kind of like filling this out in order here. We have the next thing in line is your labels. Your labels, for lack of a better description, are like your ability scores if we were playing Dungeons and Dragons. So you have 5 labels. You have danger, which is to directly engage a threat. Freak, which is unleash your powers. This one is kind of ends up being a catch-all for use your powers in a way that doesn't fit any of the other 4 labels. You have savior, which is your just general defense. Superior, which is your ability to assess the situation or provoke someone. And you have mundane. Mundane is exactly what it sounds like. It is your hero's humanity. What allows them to speak person to person to anybody else. Now, if you pull up your playbook, it should have, if you select your playbook on the character sheet, it should have, hello?
Is the grayed out
Okay.
ones the ones that are your default when you pick that playbook? Is that what that means?
The grayed out ones?
Because you know how like when I'm looking at legacy, I see danger where it has, you know, just like all the other items where it's like
Oh,
-2,
the playbook
-1,
stuff.
1.
The,
Yeah,
the
playbook stuff.
highlighted numbers.
The highlighted
Yeah.
numbers are the ones that I wasn't sure if those are like the default stats you start with and then build on top of those.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So those
I had no idea. I was like, how do I pick this shit? Okay.
So those are your defaults.
Okay.
At character creation, you get to add a +1 to any one of them. So,
Okay.
your labels will never exceed a +3. But you know, depending on you know, which playbook you are, you could start with a +3 in one of them. If let's see, there we go. There's Void Star. Yeah, that seems appropriate.
How their mundane is like negative. I'm guessing.
Let me get this
Honestly,
pulled
don't
up.
know, I'm just guessing.
No, actually, it's danger that comes at -1 built in with the character. Mundane's at 0, so is Savior. It's a freak superior, usually are the two things that it has.
This no, that's oh, that's the. If you guys could, well, okay, so most of you have. Azrin and Cass, if you can take a moment to change your names on your character sheets, that way I know who's I'm looking at a given time.
Okay.
You would you click the edit button in the upper right corner.
Okay, thank you. I was like, there's no name option on here. Changed.
Okay. Cool. And I know you. Okay, cool. And that, yeah, Azrin, that's gonna work for now, because I know you don't have your character's name yet. But I could at least see your character sheet is your character sheet. So that's all I need at the moment. Okay. This is a mess. All right. Looks like everybody
Did the
got
music stop, or am I just
their
crazy?
Qua?
Did the music stop, or am I just deaf?
I don't hear it.
No, the music's been off for a while.
Oh, okay. That's how out of it I was. My goodness.
Okay, so everybody's got, let's see, do that. Let's see here. Okay. So I'm just double checking everybody's work. I also don't know if these update in real time. So, Cass, were you okay with yours?
I haven't made any changes to mine other than the name. Or what do
Okay.
you? Yeah,
So right now we're setting up everybody's labels.
yeah.
And that's just under your playbook.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You described the labels, and then I immediately either forgot about them or was too confused.
Okay. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm here to help.
I know that it's like they all start out as one, and then we get one or +1 or anything of the other.
So it's under your playbook. So for the Nova, you start with +1 danger, +2 freak, 0 in savior and superior, and a -1 in mundane. Okay. And then you get to add a +1 to any of these. For your reference, I would recommend if you put a +1 into it, obviously change the number, and then click the checkbox next to whichever label you added that to.
Yeah.
Basically,
Oh,
that way
sound
you know where that
checkboxes?
came from.
I see now. Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And I'm so sorry. If
Everybody
you
else.
can just explain one more time what the labels are, just like a
Sure.
short blurb of what each
Absolutely.
represents. Thank you.
So danger is you are directly engaging a threat. This is going to be your main, like, I'm a fight that thing roll. And then, you say, I do that, and then describe what you do to roll that danger. Freak is using your powers in a way that is not otherwise contained in any of the other labels. So, like, if you are, let's say, trying to, oh no, hang on, I'm trying to think of an example that isn't, because I'm like, oh, it's like if you're trying to, lift a car that's full of civilians off of that's teetering off of a bridge. Well, no, that's savior, not freak. But it'll come up when it comes up, basically. As I kind of said, savior is your ability to defend yourself from harm. So let's say in the style of Fault Line, oh, bad guys are shooting at me. I stomp the ground and put a wall of stone in front of me. That would roll with his defense, even though it
Okay.
uses his power. Superior is your ability to assess the situation or provoke someone. It's that one I feel is fairly self-explanatory, but I can clarify further. Okay. And then mundane, and then mundane is your ability to what they call pierce the mask, or comfort or support someone. This is basically to, speak to someone person to person, not, no capes, no masks, nothing. It's just person to person, a heartfelt talk.
Kind of like your charisma, but not just general talking. It's more of just like comfort and sympathy.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Or empathy.
I would say a good analog is charisma in D&D. Because essentially pierce the mask is more like a persuasion or intimidation kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So it could be
and
used
then
to intimidate.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
It would basically, depending on the situation, it could be either mundane or superior. So it's like if I know something about, is that Mikey? What's your character's name?
Micah. Sorry, it's German.
Micah. Gotcha. So if somebody's going to come at you, and they try to provoke you by saying something specifically about Micah or Micah's family, that would be mundane. Or versus if they're trying to say something against whatever the hell her superhero name is, that would be versus your superior instead.
That's true. I didn't say it. It's Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon. Got you.
Yeah. Okay, that actually helps a lot, and I wrote it down just to remind myself. So thank you.
Cool. I do actually like the fact that the character sheet also has similar shorthands on there, which is pretty neat.
Oh my god, I didn't even see that. I'm looking at the PDF right now.
Oh, gotcha.
My dumbass over here. All right. Appreciate though the extra the explanatory part of it. So
yeah.
oh god, this is hard.
Yeah, I'm struggling. Yeah.
It'll change everything.
Right?
Oh.
Should I take away the negative or leave the negative for good RP stuff?
See, I'm leaving the negative for RP stuff.
Yeah.
Mine is like, do I
Just so you
max out something or
Fist danger meat.
Roll fizzle beef.
Chunk slab chest.
Big McLarge huge.
Ah!
Yeah.
Stump Chunkman. Okay. We can.
No,
we
keep
gotta
going. I need
stop.
more time.
Yeah.
We're just gonna read off
Yeah,
the whole Dave Raider list here.
Well, just know you don't have to pick, like, you don't have to officially pick right now. You got time. As long as we have it before episode 1, you don't have to, like, choose right this second if you need to, like, ponder it, because I'm struggling myself for the stupid +1.
But, you know, if you do want to look at it, we can also go over conditions. Conditions are a thing that will happen to you when, you know, things arise, either in combat or in a stressful situation and things like that. And this again is similar to Airbender, in that if someone successfully attacks you, they can choose to either, is there fatigue on this? No. They can force you to take a condition which directly impacts your effectiveness for the rest of that scene. This would be, and they all seem pretty self-explanatory. Are they the same for every character? I don't remember.
I think they are.
Yes. Yeah. So the conditions are afraid, angry, guilty, hopeless, insecure. Each one of these has penalties to either one of your labels or a specific kind of a move that you can do. So, like, you know, if you're afraid of something, you get a -2 to directly engaging that threat, which is one of the, like, basic moves that everyone can do. And then it also gives you, like, a quick note of, like, how to actually, you know, clear those kind of situations.
Fling yourself into easy relief. Quick, what's your hobby? Do it. I didn't mean it that way. I just meant, like, quick, video game. It'll help de-stress you.
Look, it said fling yourself, okay, into easy relief. Thank you.
So you play Spider-Man.
Jorkmobile. Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna pull up my PS5 and play Spider-Man.
In this economy?
As a former villain, I would like to steal the PS5.
Bat.
You just tunnel into a GameStop and they're like, nope, we only got PS4s in.
No.
The 3 that they kept in the storage in the back for their children, or their own house.
The conditions happen during the game. Like, it's not necessarily like the labels.
No, it's a thing that will happen, but they are not always on. Let's see. Okay. So as I kind of mentioned earlier, one thing that can also happen in a scene, besides you getting a condition, is that something can cause you to shift a label. shifting a label means that your view of yourself has changed. You see yourself more as the label you shift up, less as the label you shift down. This is something like, let's say, I think the example I gave earlier was you were getting a severe talking down to by like a person of authority. That could, depending on whether or not you manage to reject their influence, that could end up shifting your superior down and your mundane up. Because now, like, you have less confidence in yourself as a super person. If that makes sense. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and kind of get into moves. Because moves are basically a lot of your moves are unique to your character, or at least some of your moves are unique to your character. But there are some that are basic. Again, very similar to like Airbender. So the basic moves that everybody has, and I have a reference that I'll hand out too, is basically you can inflict a condition, take influence over someone, bring people together, capture someone. Oh, hang on, these are the villain moves. I was like, put
We're just like,
innocence
no,
in
keep
danger.
going.
Do I
I was
have
like,
access to the villain moves?
Did you say putting innocence in danger?
Yeah. I mean,
That's just sidestepping.
the
I was about
good
to
guy
say, you mean-
stuff would
you
basically be
mean
the
dodge.
opposite of those, of a lot of those. But yeah, there's. Okay. This is literally just all villain stuff.
So what is that under though? Is it under abilities or is it just something we pick? This is where I started getting confused.
So each of your playbooks has moves that are specific to your playbook. These are things that make your hero unique versus any other Joe Schmo. Like,
Oh, this is the
I can
legacy
hit some
moves. Or the moves for my legacy.
exactly.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So, and you know what? Since where's your go away for now? Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. There we go. Oh, good. You did the copy paste in here. Okay. So while we're kind of talking about it, each of you choose a certain number of moves out of, I think, 6 that you're presented. You get to choose 2.
Outsiders have to pick 3.
Yes.
Oh,
yours is
it
probably
varies per playbook, but
Yep.
sorry, I'm looking at Zoro's character sheet at the moment.
Yeah, mine. So one of my moves, the fight the good fight is savior. It's like, oh, you savior instead of danger. But the words of the past doesn't tell me what I use for that. It just defaults to danger is the first one. It doesn't say. All the other ones tell me like what it goes off of, except that one.
Is that what would be considered a passive move?
I
No,
don't
she still has to
know.
roll it, but there is there's not a
Take a +1 ongoing if you listen. That's all it says. Is if you go your own way, mark potential. So I think it's more of a influence.
Sounds like
or
a buff.
something else.
Yeah.
it is a
yeah.
buff. So words of the past is literally, in your case, you call up Grandpa for some superhero advice.
Mhm.
And he gives you, superhero voice and advice, and he's like, oh, well, we all wore an onion on our belt because that was the style at the time, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And as long as the actions you do follow that advice, you get an ongoing +1 to any of your rolls.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That makes sense.
Let me see. Now that being said, it does when you see the guidance here. Okay, so that's if you actually that's a really good one. So it's if you follow their advice, you get an ongoing +1. So basically, as long as you continue to follow that advice, you get a +1 to all your rolls.
Okay.
However, if you say fuck it and do your own thing, then you mark a potential.
Okay, what is that?
Potential is basically how you advance. And
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fuck you, Grandpa.
So
Times have changed.
yeah. Yeah, we wear celery on our lapels, not onions on our belt. So
God damn it.
That's what the kids are doing now.
Yeah,
Okay, so that wow,
okay.
so that's a nice buff.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That is pretty good. Especially with your -1 to danger.
look, I trust everyone so well.
So is there an easy way
all
to
the
tell
trust.
which is active and passive? Because the core rulebook doesn't say if they're active or passive, but the character sheet does.
Let's take a look.
Oh, every time you roll a miss on a move, mark potential. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't know what the passive moves meant because it
so
doesn't say under ours.
it doesn't. So in this case, this would realistically, this is more for how you want to kind of denote these. In your case, Zorro, words of the past would be a passive move because it doesn't require a specific skill check. Whereas fight the good fight is active because it is actively changing what label you use to do something.
Okay.
And we'll go kind of back around with everybody here.
Okay.
Okay. So going, let's see. Let's pull up. So Azrin, did you have questions about your moves as the transformed?
Well, I get 3. I thought everyone got
You get
2. I
3.
get 3.
It depends on the playbook. So,
yeah, I
but
noticed that as people were saying what they got.
Mhm.
Like I think so I'm gonna do still be the monster and wish I could be, but I'm also gonna take unstoppable. So the way I'm reading it is if I have to make a roll, it's an active ability or a move.
Mhm.
And if I don't
Correct.
need to make a roll, like it has like serves a function, it's a passive. So
Right.
for me, wish I could be is a passive move, not a active move. Because basically it's for me, wish I could be is when I need to make a comfort or support someone. Instead of having to
Right.
use my mundane, I use my freak.
Right. So yeah.
I just wanted clarification on that so I know how to put things.
Exactly. No, you're good. Be the monster is active. Wish I could be as active. It looks like So the only ones that are passive for you, if you choose to take them, would be Coming for You, which is when you mark a condition, take +1 forward against the person you most blame for causing it. Or I Am Not My Body. When you take a powerful physical blow, you may roll as if you had 2 fewer conditions marked. If you do, on a 10+, you must choose to lose control of yourself in a terrible way.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna
Oh.
take that one eventually. I didn't want to start off with that one because
That's cool.
I figured starting, like, you know, like I don't want to get hot and then like all of a sudden do bad shit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, and considering you can't, as far as I know, you can't really adjust. You probably like lose the power, like you gain them. I figure as he gains more control / less control of his power, that would be something that comes into play. What's the reason why Wish I Could Be is active and not passive? It reads like a passive.
Because it's specifically. Actually, wait. What did I just say? What did I say for her?
Yeah, it looks like Wish I Could Be would be a passive as
No.
well.
You're right. I'm sorry. No, I'm. I threw myself off because it changes what you're rolling with.
Okay. Like I said, just want to be sure about that.
I got
But
you.
yeah, those are gonna be my 3: Unstoppable, Wish I Could Be, and Be the Monster.
Okay, that sounds right. Let's go. Now, Cass. The Nova works a little differently. In that the Nova doesn't have moves. Instead, you have burns.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah. Functionally, they're the same thing. But almost all of yours is basically so you choose 4 4 from the
4?
they're called flares.
Damn.
Yeah, so you choose 4. Well, they're not you don't it's
They're-
not great.
Yeah, it's
I'm like, damn.
yeah, no, they are interesting.
So
Oh, because you start
So
losing
you-
control the more you use them, kind of situation.
yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So when you charge up your powers, roll plus conditions you currently have marked. On a hit, hold 3 burn. On a 7 to 9, mark in condition. On a miss, hold 2 burn and mark 3 conditions. So yeah, she has phenomenal cosmic power, but also she will explode. But yeah, you choose 4 things that you can do when you like really put your whole ass into it. But also like, you kind of see. I think we're gonna end up having to talk more outside of this for what happens when your shit goes bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's one of these is you can boost supercharge a teammate's efforts with your powers, but I'm thinking like, well, if things don't work out, like they might not. And it's like, okay, that might it's to spend 1 burn to do so to get a +1 bonus to the roll.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some other ones that are
The good
interesting.
the good news from what I'm at least looking over, at least on a cursory glance, is that the stuff that happens to you or is just collateral damage.
Yeah.
Now that collateral damage could impact, your allies, but for the most part, you're mostly just taking the problem yourself.
Yeah. I'm still reading through these in the first place.
And that's perfectly fine. There's a lot there. You choose, what is that, 4 out of 10?
Mhm.
Whereas everybody else is like 2 or 3 out of 6. So so hey, fault line.
What's up?
All right. So you picked What the Hell Hero.
Yep.
Which is basically just, cancel culture the power.
Yep. Calling the capes out on their bullshittery.
Yeah, exactly.
So it allows me to call out an injustice that a hero has perpetrated, which allows me to roll danger. On a hit, I take influence over them. On a 7 to 9, I choose one of the following. On a 10+, I choose 2. You get them to admit their wrongdoings. You win over an onlooker and take influence over them. You don't turn their attention and anger onto yourself. On a miss, they dismiss you. They mark a condition of their choice, and shift danger up and savior down.
Oof.
Yeah. And then the other one I took was blowing off steam. When you commit a misdemeanor or small victimless crime, you may clear a condition of your choice. Crimes.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I mean, it makes sense.
And then we have, this is a really fun playbook, Tilt. I really like this playbook.
What, The Outsider?
Yes, it's so fucking inside baseball. I love it.
I love it because it rewards creativity. The more you think outside the box, the more funny, silly things you can do, the more fun it becomes.
Aren't you good with that?
Wow, thanks. Why did that sound so sarcastic?
I'm just like, God, the levels you'll go to.
Not necessarily. Yeah. Hey, I'm pretty good about that stuff.
You're genuinely really, really good about a lot of that stuff, unless you're trying to rhyme consistently.
No, I'm not. I mean, yes, but no, but yes. That one's made to be horrible on purpose. Moving on.
All right, so for your moves, and this is why this is just so much fun. So you've got alien tech, which basically means you can take a human device, roll plus freak to change it into something weird that works exactly once and then explodes.
Basically.
Like we
overclock it, it melts down, and then
like he can turn a kitchen toaster into like
a heat ray.
A radio. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Where's the cappuccino machine?
Was that a cappuccino fucking Fallout New Vegas
blowing
reference?
A hole into the wall? Don't ask questions.
God. Oh God. Maybe.
The toaster who's the death ray?
Yep.
I mean, that's
He transforms a robot butler into a prostitute. Calibrating.
Wow.
But yes, it does something, impossible ones, then fizzles. On a 10+, it either works exceptionally well or I get a second use out of it. And on miss, it works, but it has a completely unintended side effect where the GM gets to get creative. So if it works, cool. If it doesn't work, it'll still do something. But then the GM gets to fuck around.
All of Santa Monica is now gone.
I mean, look,
God.
if he wants to get that, you know.
Man.
But it rewards creativity both ways, so I think it's gonna be a fun little thing to do, you know?
Yeah, that is a lot of fun. You also chose belong into worlds.
Yep.
This is a fascinating one.
Yes.
Because essentially you get to phone home.
Yep. I get to use the bat phone, call home, and have basically my people, depending on how I roll, of course, either send me a piece of alien tech that lets me use an ability from another playbook once. I could consult my people's knowledge and basically ask the GM a question about a current situation, or I can clear a condition through comfort from contact with home. Depending on how I roll, the ability gives me a certain number of these effects. On a miss, I only get one of the effects, and my people make an uncomfortable demand of me. So that's where, again, the GM gets to say, hey, by the way, funny side quest you have to deal with, or unintended side effect, or unintended condition, or unintended whatever. So again, it gives the GM the ability to basically F me up, fam. Where instead of just getting what I'm asking for, I'm also given orders to do something or
Yeah.
act a certain way, which, you know, again, depending on how you decide, can affect my stats, can affect other things. So it's I like the belong in two worlds too, because again, it's very interactive with how the
Yeah.
GM decides to F me up.
Yeah, you said you clear condition, but no, they're like, well, we do need another subject for the probulator.
Or we need a volunteer for the formula. Ah, shit, a volunteer. I don't get the pick. I have to find a volunteer. God damn it. Craigslist. But yes.
And then lastly, this is the one that I think I find really funny because this is
Oh, yeah.
this is the inside baseball one.
Yep.
The Kirby craft. You have a vehicle, something from home. It looks weird and has like gizmos. So it looks like something fucking Reed Richards would have built or some shit.
So that's actually a fun bit, right? It has to have two strengths and two weaknesses here. This one ties in with his race quite a bit. It's basically just a ball of light viewed from the outside. It basically is size shifting, and it is capable of regenerating itself using sunlight. That's the two strengths on it. The weaknesses is, well, the fuel source. If there is no sunlight, I have to fuel it with my own energy. Because it requires sunlight to function, and it is also easily detectable because you are not going to go stealth with basically what looks like a freaking disco ball. Well, permanently lit disco ball, if that says anything to you. Fun bit about it, though, when I'm flying it, I can use it to unleash powers, directly engage a threat, or defend somebody using superior instead of using the other three abilities that are necessary for that. So it also helps, you know, adjust to certain situations. But again, at a cost, because it basically just pumps my own juice out if it's not daytime.
Gotcha. That'll be a good thing to keep in mind.
Even with the whole Helio thing, when I present you at the race, you'll see daytime is definitely where I'm stronger, nighttime is where I'm a little bit weaker, and I have to eat food instead of, because I can't just, you know, go suntan to recharge the battery.
Yeah. Let's see. So on top of your active moves, passive moves, like your playbook specific moves that you get, each playbook also has specific team moves that gives you that you don't actually have a choice over, which is nice. But also like they will help you in some sort of way. So since I already had his character sheet up, so I've got Void Star. So his team moves are basically when you share a triumphant celebration with someone, you can take influence over them. If you show them meaningful affection, physical or emotional, they decide whoever you are trying to influence is the one that decides whether or not it's meaningful. His other one is when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, they tell you what you should do to fit in more. And if you take their advice, you get +1 forward to doing it.
Yep, and you mark a potential. But here's why I actually picked those 3 powers earlier too, and it kind of fits in with this in particular here for the team moves. The other
Mhm.
moves that were in the Outsider playbook were a lot more social. But I think here with this character, what's interesting is the longer I spend with the team, the more I'm going to learn about humanity and how they function and their customs and what's okay and not okay to do and say. And I'm thinking for advancement purposes, it makes a lot more fun and a lot more sense that as I open up to people and get to know people, then maybe we'll start looking at stuff like Alien Ways or even Not So Different after all, where you can actually talk about your own home and talk about what's good about it or what's flawed about it, and then actually start opening up to people about how you're going to fit in with this particular society and why you would rather stay at Earth rather than go back to your home planet and so on and so forth. So right now it's just a job, but then as we get to know people more and more, I'm hoping that through roleplay, through bonding and everything, we'll get to use those team moves, share some of our weaknesses, of our vulnerabilities, what makes us quote unquote human, though we come from outer space, and hopefully again fit in with humanity as a whole, basically.
I do really, really love the idea of you potentially latching onto the criminal as your moral compass.
So that's one of the fun things about this playbook too. We have a relationships thing that we're supposed to pick eventually, and this will probably come later in the discussion, but I do have to, I've been learning about Earth by spending time with Blank, so I'm going to have to probably pick 1 or 2 people that I've been learning about Earth from those people. There's also one that says you have a crush on Blank, but you keep it under wraps. So there's that whole potential drama there that could be fun to exploit and work with once we, again, have talked a little bit more about our different characters and how they all kind of sort of fit in together in a team.
Yeah, exactly. Let's back up.
Yes, we could have the criminal be the one that ends up teaching the alien about Earth customs. I hope not, but we'll see how it ends up happening, right?
Hey,
Figure it out.
man, so much judgment even before we even start off. Damn.
Yes, steal the PS5. That is what we do on Earth.
No. You said you can conform something and it works once then breaks. Take a PS3, make it a PS5. It works once and then breaks.
Yeah, you know what? Just give me a stack of PS3s. You'll be able to play your game in a couple of hours.
It just reminds me a little bit.
Isn't that exactly what Sony did?
Yeah.
I mean,
it just kind of reminds me a little bit of like Raya, where it's just like, oh, I learned that we could do credit, so I'm just taking this now, and I'll give you credit later. That's not how it works.
that was funny.
That's not how that works. Oh, jeez.
We'll get to that when we get to that.
Say, speaking of the criminal.
Yes.
So your team moves. You have when you share a moment of triumph with someone, ask them what gives them hope for a brighter day and give them influence. That's fascinating. Because it's like your character in his willingness to reform is also willing to give someone else influence over them, which is really, really neat. Like a vulnerability, I should say.
Yeah.
And then speaking of, and your other team move is when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, you ask them what they would do. Ask them what they would do something dark for and gain influence over them. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Oh my god.
While I'm looking at your character sheet, I know we have to come up with your friends in low places,
I just did that.
we'll. Oh, you did?
I just filled it out.
Oh, those are the ones. But Joey numbers.
Yep.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yep. So I've got my contacts are Backblast, Joey Numbers, and Doc Mantis.
Doc
Yeah,
Mantis.
Joey numbers over here.
Oh.
Yep. And then you have to assign a specialty to them. So Backblast is weapons, Joey Numbers is insider information, and Doc Mantis is alien tech.
All right. One cool thing about that is that each time you go to one of them, actually, let's see here. Write 3 names and fill in their details at character creation. At character creation.
Mm-hmm.
Mark 2 obligations on one villain and mark 1 obligation on another.
Yep.
So that's that I figure you're still working on. Obligation is scary.
Yep.
Obligation
Yep.
is really not great. Because you only get four phone calls until they start wanting something back. So, oh boy. Yeah, this is going to be exciting. Let's see. So there's that one. Since I'm going from the bottom up, now we're on Sydney. All right.
Hello.
Hello. So your team moves. They're still share a triumphant celebration with someone, or share a vulnerability or weakness with someone. If you celebrate with someone, whoosh.
Yup.
Okay, yeah, this is heavy. Okay, so when you share a triumphant celebration with someone, ask them if there is any fear in their eyes when they look at you. If they say no, take +1 forward and mark potential.
Mm-hmm.
If they say yes, you immediately shift your danger up and savior down.
Yeah.
That's oof. Alternatively, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's just the whole thing of just asking someone like, "Are you afraid of me?" After we just like celebrated something that like we did. It's a vibe killer.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
you did just crush that entire, battalion of henchmen with a tank.
It's fine.
I know
you didn't have to turn the
character.
You didn't have to turn the tank into a giant saw blade first.
It worked, didn't it?
And then your other one is when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, you tell them how they could stop you if it came down to it. This gives them influence over you, but you also get to clear a condition.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, like.
Yeah, that's heavy, dude. That's a heavy fucking playbook.
So, like, I give them a contingency plan, essentially, of like, and all kinds of like with either nullifying my powers or like physically or emotionally enough to like kind of. I imagine it's like if I go crazy or something, or if I'm stuck and I don't know how things are, but it's like.
Would you still call me Superman?
Look, we already have the contingency plan. The Fantastic Four cartoon showed us what we have to do against a magnetic powered superhero. We pull a wooden gun on them and they freak out because they thought they lost their powers.
Yeah.
You know what? It's like I know what you need to do in case the inevitable might happen. Take this gun. You're like, she doesn't know that it's wooden, right? It's the only one that I know can kill me.
Well, I was gonna say the alternative was what was it in X-Men?
Mm-hmm.
They all had plastic guns.
Yep. Plastic guns and rubber bullets.
Yeah. I guess technically gold bullets would work too, because the gold isn't magnetic, but fuck, that's some expensive well, ammunition is expensive anyway, but that's beside the point.
Sun plasma light to the face?
I mean, look.
I mean,
Not
that
magnetic
would
list, I checked.
Yeah, that would
light
hurt just
is
about.
affected
Well,
by
no,
magnetism.
yeah, visible light is on the magnetic spectrum. Yeah.
Electromagnetic spectrum, true. I can fuck with its density too if we need to, though. Anyway, we'll talk about that
Ooh,
later.
nice.
Yeah, I need to learn more about magnets, especially in order to play this.
Yo,
character.
magnets, how do they work?
How do they work?
If you can bend the water that I use, I'm like, shit, there's so much metal in this water. That's not healthy. Don't drink this shit.
No, there's
Don't
no
drink
metal
it.
anymore, just microplastics.
Take
Ah,
light.
Yay!
You can do crazy stuff with magnets because Louis was gonna do some really insane stuff with heat. I was basically writing a PhD thesis on some of the stupid shit he could do with enough heat.
Oh man,
Heat is scary.
Heat scary.
Speaking of heat, if anybody was playing a heat character in this game, you could literally set every beach along that coastline on fire because there's so much pollutants and so much oil in the water.
Jesus
Seriously,
Christ.
people, do not go to Santa Monica Beach. You will mutate.
Yo.
yeah.
He's not.
I'll
I
tell you
hate.
right
I hate to say it,
now.
but he's not wrong.
They had to
I'm
get
not gonna
Foxtrot
lie.
somewhere.
Look,
With
cancer is
my
a form of
character-
mutation.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir?
go ahead, sweetie.
I was just saying, with my character going from northern Canada to southern California, going, holy fuck, this water is just awful.
Yeah.
Awful. It's gross.
I shit you not. When I was living down in Santa Monica, there would be signs like at the beach telling people that the water is heavily polluted to keep out of the water and enter at their own risk. And there'd be people on the beach going and swimming in the water. So, you know.
Jesus Christ.
And their children have 3 arms or bald. And anyway.
I got back from a beach that I collect shells and I literally had to spend some time scrubbing the tar off of it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So speaking of beaches, so Micah. So we've got your team moves here. When you share a triumphant celebration with someone, well, this is just a dick move. You tell them whether you tell them whether you see them as an equal. If you do, you give them influence over you and mark potential. If you don't, you shift your superior up and any other label down. When you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, you tell them a secret about your legacy, including your own true feelings about it, to clear a condition and give them influence over you.
I don't like this whole influence over me. I don't like that.
Right?
I'm not a pushover.
It's like a big deal, but it's not like phenomenal cosmic power. It basically just means that any role that they target you with, they get a +1 to it.
Yeah.
Which, considering the way the labels in this game work, I mean the +1 is still pretty big deal, but let's see here. And then we're not going to go over any of your cool legacy stuff yet, because that will probably just come up via one of your team moves. I do like the quiz section of your legacy though, where it's like, oh, answer these questions
Yeah.
for each no answer, take a -1.
So bad.
Yeah. All right, and that brings us to the top here with Azrin, whose team moves are when you share a triumphant celebration with someone, you clear a condition if they treat you like a perfectly normal person, and you mark potential if they praise your power or abilities. The other one is when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, you ask them if they think you're losing or gaining humanity. If they say losing, mark a condition and mark potential. If they say gaining, clear condition and shift mundane up and any other label down. Wow. That playbook has way more, like, that gives someone way more influence over you than just influence over you.
Yeah. I mean, it's the way I have the cat. I mean, it kind of makes sense. The way I think the playbook envisions the transformed is more like I think Golden Age Beast, where he's still smart, but he's kind of lost himself like animalistically.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying
Just
to
him with
find
the
himself.
glasses on.
No, without the
The guy with
glasses.
glasses.
Like
No, but
this
I'm saying
is
that's how when he's in beast form all the time, just glasses.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like, you know, he's found his humanity, quote unquote. Or, you know,
Well, I was also gonna. It also reminds me of Spike from X-Men Evolution, where like as that series goes on, he like has bone spikes that are permanently sticking out of him that he can no longer control. And I think that is very similar to how at least that second one would kind of look like it. I think so. I think at this point, what we can do, we've been going for what, about 2 hours now?
Just about.
I'm trying to think. Does anybody have any specific questions about their character sheet or kind of anything else on here?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, what do we do with our powers? Is that just something we say, hey, this is just what we can do, and then we roll to see if they work? Like, are there certain limitations? Like, how does the powers work necessarily in this?
So you remember when we were creating our characters for Airbender, right? How it says like your bending, there's no like bending stat. There's no like,
Right.
well, I'm technically there's a superpower stat, but your superpowers are basically however you use them. So like I think the example I would give is, you know, let's say fault line is like, oh, I want to try and stop that goon over there, but he's over there, so I'm going to throw a rock at him. You know, that would still just be a danger roll, but it happens to be like I'm also using my power.
Gotcha. Okay. So we don't have
It's
like
all
a
in
set amount, it's just how we use it and what we roll to see how it goes.
exactly.
Okay.
The only one that kind of specifically has, let's say, unlimited cosmic power but also phenomenal cosmic drawbacks is Cass.
Yay!
Because
Good that I don't roll high in general.
No, I think that's bad because like rolling low is
It's
gonna be
not great.
catastrophic.
It's fine.
It's
Don't worry
true.
about it.
I'm just
It's
Just roll mid. Roll mid.
I'm just seeing like the potential like capabilities this teams have of putting everything together into something, and I'm just like, ooh, there's a lot of very
Mhm.
funny thing this team can do if they actually learn to work together.
yeah. It's one of those things like if we're comparing like let's say you guys to the X-Men, right? You've more or less got like, you know, Rojan's basically like Bobby Drake, you know. His power is kind of powerful, but it's not like he's probably not going to be able to destroy the earth because he just can't move that much ground, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're putting it into like, you know, the X-Men mutant scale, yeah, Sydney or Hematite is probably an Omega level mutant.
Magneto.
Hey, Iceman
Yeah.
Iceman was an
But no
Omega
control.
Omega
Yeah.
level mutant. Bobby Drake?
Iceman was Omega level?
Yeah.
Iceman is an Omega level mutant.
They
Yeah.
did him dirty in the movies.
Not in the
Yeah.
beginning. He becomes
He becomes
once
an Omega level
he
mutant.
becomes Omega level.
Yeah. He was Babu.
like-
I
yeah.
think that's where we're kind of and you're right. I guess the movies did do him dirty, but also
yeah.
like he was young Bobby Drake.
Yeah. Yeah, funny
So,
enough,
that
how
makes-
Cass is playing her character is if we had the other V6 game in here, definitely 100% Paige would have been a Nova because she has no control over her powers. She was born with them, so that would
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah.
It's crazy with the drawbacks, like how that'll play out depending on how you roll.
Oh, it'll be so much fun. I'm excited, honestly. I'm like
Yeah.
freaking stoked. Not for like the aftermath of a bad roll, but just in general playing.
yeah.
Well, the aftermath of a bad roll is where the shit really gets fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Funny enough, if you
Um,
didn't go Nova, that's what I was doing. I was gonna go full on Iceman.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Nice. I couldn't be an avatar, so I'm like, damn it, I'm still getting my water bending.
There you go.
That's alright. I'm an earthbender.
Again, I just love how everybody completes one another. This is going to be a really fun game if we all learn to work together properly.
That actually reminds,
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to ask, are we a official team by the time we start episode 1, or do we become a team during the campaign over time?
That is a great question. I think the only ones of you who would probably have like your hero license, for lack of a better word, is the alien and the criminal. Because they have the criminal on a work release program.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. I'm on
Is
super
that-
community service.
Is the
what
is the
is
guardian
it?
alien the one responsible for keeping the criminal in check?
I was
that's how
thinking
they
is,
bond.
when he was describing his character, I was making fun of Rojan saying it's very similar to like Suicide Squad. You've got people that know about superheroes and are like, we're watching you.
Yep.
You work for us now. Okay, so we're not a team yet.
No. We're gonna so it's gonna very much start with like it's very much gonna start with like, you know, you all find yourselves at a tavern kind of situation. And you'll kind of come
Now we're at
together
Shake
from
Shack.
there.
The classic.
You
Okay.
find
Yeah,
yourselves
yeah.
at a Shake Shack.
Acceptable.
Which
Just
is
like
funny, isn't that how we all started in the hero game before it became Vigilant?
Yeah,
Six?
when it
Isn't
was
that how we all
Would
met?
Be
Was at a
Heroes.
Shake Shack?
No, we Would Be Heroes. You guys met at a pizza place.
Pizza.
Oh, I thought it was a Shake Shack.
Nope.
Nope, pizza place.
But pizza was
That
a
was funny.
common thing throughout it.
Because
But it was
pizza's
on the beach.
amazing.
That's funny.
So let's see here.
Okay.
So as
that'll be a
far
different discussion,
as
see if we know each other or not.
yeah, you can have that discussion. I know we've got a couple of like housekeeping things, like quick ones when we're off air, but that'll be fine. As far as stuff that is carrying over from V6, I'll go into more detail about what happened at the end of V6 in episode 1. Fox, toaster is still the best way to reheat pizza. God damn it.
Terrible.
As far as like kind of stuff that kind of carried over, obviously Masterson Technologies, their shit and their influences all over the place. They put several millions of dollars into revamping the Costa Lucida mass transit system. So now it's basically all just an underground maglev subway. They did still keep like, some of the cable cars around just for like the tourists, basically. But outside of that, everything is much more like efficient and quick. So you can get from one side of the city to the other in less than an hour if you know what stops you have to get off on. This does include the fact that there are maglev connections to the rest of their national maglev train system, going out from what map do I have? I don't have a map for you guys yet, sorry. But there's basically a train that would go north up to Washington, I think as far as Olympia, and east all the way as far as Atlanta, just following the southern the southern border. Nothing that goes directly into Mexico, just because we haven't figured out who's going to pay for that yet.
Damn it.
Bruh.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Look, Masterson has a lot of money and a lot of influence, but I don't necessarily know if they have enough money to also do a maglev through
International.
Mexico into Central.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. from what, San Pedro all the way through Mexico into like Central America. Like, I don't think that's gonna. It would be rad, but I don't think that's happening. Foxtrot definitely happened. It was played off like a terrorist attack. By whom? We don't know yet. Just because they haven't, the government at large hasn't had enough time to figure out who to pin it on yet. But that is definitely something that is likely to come up during this. Armstrong's nanomachines exist, but those were not a public thing as of yet.
Okay.
I was like, I knew that Tilt was gonna just want to know that a little bit.
Makes sense. More of a military project or something.
more of a military project, but also like something that he kept very hush hush, like how Batman had like a bunch of like black book projects that weren't officially on the records, like, oh, what's this for plumbing? Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
A fucking building need pipes.
Definitely not something he would have released to the public at large, at least not yet.
Yeah, exactly. And there are, and as far as things like bionic limbs or other medical prosthesis, sure, Masterson makes some, but I would say there are other companies that also make them, both domestically and international. So that's not necessarily something that Masterson has to like really rely on. So,
Did Armstrong get reelected for Metro City? Does he still exist as a political figure, or did he disappear?
That we don't know yet.
Let's figure out in game. Get it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in here.
Do you
Yeah, I
have
don't
any
have
age limitations as far as minimum, maximum?
I would want everybody to kind of still be more. I'm trying to think here.
'Cause-
I would aim somewhere between like 19 to 23. Just because I want everybody to still be like essentially afraid of authority, as like the book would have your characters be. Because I know as far as like in the book, they're mostly like Teen Titans kind of age, so like anywhere between like 13 to 17. But I don't think any of you actually want to play characters that young.
Oh man, Batman's
So.
pissed at us.
I need to make my character younger then. I made her over 23.
Yeah, me too.
That's fine.
Let's change that.
I
That's
mean,
okay. That's fine. It's easy.
I was gonna say from what you guys from what you drew, like they don't look over that.
She was 26. It's not like she was
Teddy,
older.
like I made Teddy 21.
Well,
And her slight
so.
3 years younger is not really gonna alter too much. Maybe her schooling a little bit, but that's about it.
Look, you keep saying Ralph from King of Fighters. I just keep seeing Bandit Keith. I'm sorry.
It's the bandana. It's the bandana.
It is. It is.
I didn't even think Bandit Keith until you mentioned it. In America.
In America. Be the American Bandit Keith believes you could be. But yeah, okay. So yeah, characters between like 19 and 23. I think that gives you guys like the ability to be like grown-ups, but also like still appropriately afraid of the law. And also like you would have like a shitty job or be going to college or some other nonsense to occupy your time if you are, more human than not.
My job is just crime. I don't think I can
Your
actually
job is
have
not
a
crime
job.
anymore.
You're being reformed.
Your job was crime.
Ex-criminal, I'm
Your job
sorry.
was crime.
My job is parole.
No. I'm not gonna lie, I did put community service, but parole sounds way better.
Right.
My job's just parole.
Yeah, because that's all I really need from you guys is your job if you have one. I already know for the most part everyone's power. I just need your superhero name, and then of course your stats. But yeah, you guys have plenty of time to get that stuff to me.
DoorDash HR.
Ooh.
Let's go.
I was gonna say, he's like, I want to be a courier maybe of some sort. I'm like, oh my god,
DoorDash?
DoorDash HR, UPS driver.
No, dude, like if you like DoorDash in LA, you make bank. Like
Yeah, right?
everybody orders DoorDash.
And everything is like twice as expensive anyway with the DoorDash.
Also, you know, we can fly and we have a spaceship, so you know, getting from
You
point
are-
A to
you
I
point
was
are
gonna
B.
say
full
LA
on.
traffic.
You are gonna full on pull off the fucking pizza time scene from Spider-Man 2.
Oh my
Basically.
god, no.
Just comes out of the closet.
Oh my god.
Yep. Basically.
Terrible.
It says here 30 minutes. You're late.
It says here 30 minutes. You've been here, wait,
Now
5 minutes?
I'm just thinking now of the Teen Titans, the newer Teen Titans episode where where Cyborg and Beast Boy are trying to get the free 30-minute delivery pizza, and the guy's always so fucking fast. They're like, how? We kept setting up obstacles. How? So they kept ordering pizzas just to get the free pizza. Like, stop it!
Imagine the delivery guy's the Flash or some shit. I know, completely different universe, but still.
Or flashlight.
I was gonna say, I always think of Ninja Turtles,
Yep.
where they're just underneath the
Oh.
steam vent, like, he's
Yeah.
got 30 seconds.
The dude's got 30 seconds.
Sorry, you were saying, Cass?
I was.
Okay, I guess
I-
not.
Yeah, I
She's like, I
Um,
did?
I forgot. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't. Well, unless anybody else has any additional questions, I don't think I need our full time this week.
I think we're good.
E.
You know, at
Now we
least
just
as
do
far
the
as I'm
creative
concerned.
background stuff.
All right.
It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah. No, I'm very, very stoked. I'm looking forward to episode 1. But anybody want to take us out?
I'll take us out. It's what I
It's
do.
your job now.
No, just
Yeah,
pass.
Yeah,
you-
but
you could
if
just
Fox
pass it
isn't
off to
here,
me.
I assume the bot isn't. So I'm like, I don't
I
know
think-
what shows,
The
what all
bot,
shows
no,
we do every week.
the bot is here.
Here?
The bot is here.
The bot's
But
here.
I-
Yeah.
The bot
I'm
is
doing-
here.
I could take us out. You don't worry, Spiffy. I've got this
Yeah.
practice
Okay.
down. All right, all. Thank you so much for
I was
tuning
just
on
teasing him.
in. If this is your first time here, this is not the only show that we do. Coming up on Sunday, we will have another episode of Wayward Wanderers, which is our Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign run by Azarin. Monday, we will have episode 1 of our Avatar game, The Escape of Varric Island. Alternating Mondays, we have Destiny Forge Campaign 4. Tuesdays, we have Star Wars Tales of the Outer Rim, which is a Star Wars game that is run by Tilt. Coming up this Thursday is another episode of A New Era. That's the one. Which is another 5th edition game that I put on. Alternating Thursdays, we have Mass Effect Horizons, which is a Mass Effect 5th edition mod run by Zorro. On Saturday, would be, but we will have the day off. But on this upcoming Saturday would have been Withered Wastes, which is another 5th edition game that I run. Alternating Saturdays, we have what do you call it? I almost said Downton Abbey, Zorro. God damn it. The Downfall of Propriety,
always.
which is a Bridgerton-inspired mini-adventure run by Malls. But yeah, that will do it for us today. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning on in, and we will catch you later. I forgot to press buttons.